The diplomatic landscape surrounding the Russia-Ukraine war has become exceptionally complex and tense. European leaders, including the French President, German Chancellor, and UK Prime Minister, are making an unprecedented show of unity by joining Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy in Washington. This move is a direct response to a recent summit between the US and Russian presidents where a potential peace plan emerged that would require Ukraine to cede the Donbass region. This proposal has been met with alarm in European capitals, which have consistently backed Ukraine's territorial integrity and sovereignty. By accompanying Zelenskyy, the European leaders are sending a clear message that a durable peace must be negotiated with Kyiv as a full partner, not as a side note, and that international borders cannot be changed by force. The meeting serves to reaffirm the transatlantic alliance's commitment to Ukraine and to ensure that any potential deal aligns with the core principles of international law. The situation underscores the deep divisions in how to end the conflict and the high stakes of the upcoming talks. European leaders are joining Zelenskyy in Washington for several key reasons, primarily to present a united front and to counter the potential for a peace deal that could be seen as too favorable to Russia. Their presence aims to show solidarity with Ukraine and signal to the US that Europe is an indispensable partner in any discussions about the future of the war. The visit is also a direct reaction to the recent US-Russia summit, where a peace proposal that would require Ukraine to cede territory was reportedly discussed. European leaders are concerned that without their involvement, Ukraine could be pressured into a deal that compromises its sovereignty and sets a dangerous precedent for international relations. By being at the table, they want to ensure that any agreement is based on international law and respects Ukraine's territorial integrity. Finally, the collective presence is intended to provide political support for President Zelenskyy and to prevent any mischaracterization of his position on a ceasefire or peace settlement. The consequences of this unprecedented joint visit are significant, both diplomatically and politically. A key outcome could be a strengthened, unified Western position that clarifies red lines on a potential peace deal. By demonstrating a collective commitment to Ukraine's territorial integrity, European leaders are aiming to prevent the US from pushing a settlement that is perceived as a land for peace arrangement. This display of transatlantic solidarity could also increase pressure on Russia to engage in meaningful negotiations, as it signals that a divided front is not an option. However, there's also a risk of creating friction within the alliance if the parties fail to reach a common position. Disagreements over key issues, such as security guarantees for Ukraine or the timeline for a ceasefire, could become public, exposing rifts that Moscow could exploit. Ultimately, the success of this high-stakes meeting will be measured by its ability to translate this show of unity into a concrete, coordinated strategy for ending the war on terms that are acceptable to Kyiv and its European partners. A range of solutions has been proposed to end the conflict, though most face significant obstacles. One approach is the establishment of an immediate humanitarian ceasefire to stop the loss of life and allow for aid delivery, which could then serve as a prelude to more formal negotiations. Another widely discussed solution is the implementation of a comprehensive peace agreement. This would likely involve difficult compromises, such as Ukraine formally adopting a neutral status in exchange for robust security guarantees from Western powers. Such a deal would also need to address the future of the occupied territories, a key point of contention. A third, more radical solution involves the creation of a new long-term security framework for Europe. This could potentially entail reforms to international organizations like the UN to prevent a single nation from unilaterally blocking peace efforts. However, achieving such systemic changes is a monumental diplomatic challenge, given the current geopolitical divisions.